Sabres fall to the Florida Panthers last night. Homestand continues. Philadelphia, Montreal, Minnesota all coming up. They are in a playoff spot. Joining us on the Western Hotline. Lindy, it's been maybe a week or two. How many weeks since we've talked to you, Lindy? Maybe just 2 weeks. But Sabres.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah,
I missed you guys.
You've won a lot of games since we talked last.
It's been a good couple weeks. Do you want to take a couple more weeks off from us?
Yeah, I think the more I take off, the better we are, it looks like.
Well, if it starts to go that way, we will do our part, whatever it takes. But Lindy,
okay.
a loss last a loss last night. You know, like I thought last night looked like a game between two good teams playing a really tight game. Paul referenced it earlier this morning, saying it kind of had like a playoff tightness to it. There was if you want to say like a professional nature to the game. There was not a lot out there, and goals in the third period, and that ends up being the difference.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of ice. I thought both teams did a real good job of gapping up and not giving up much ice, and packed it in pretty tight down low. I thought, we didn't do a real good job of getting shots through from above the top of the circle. We hit a lot of sticks. They blocked some shots. But I think when you look at the goals that were scored in the game, our goals were net front goals, the Benson backside, the screen with Bryson, where Bryson did a great job getting it through. And their goal was kind of the same. They get a deflected one on the power play. They get a backside where we didn't cover off good enough. It was a tight game. There wasn't a lot of high-quality chances. When a team makes a mistake late like they did, where we had the Thompson chance with the Doan rebound, that's one we have to take advantage of. We missed, and that could have been the goal that at least got us a point in the game.
When a game is going like that, and you mentioned like how shots aren't getting through, how are you coaching that? Like, do you want guys getting it off quicker, or do you want them like just going to another avenue?
Sometimes you have to shoot if they're in their shot lane. We have to, we reference shot pass and aiming for guys that are off the net. We want layers in the offensive zone, so we have a net front guy, and then we want one guy out there above the hash marks, and then there's times you have to shoot for that guy that's at the hash marks if you can't get to the net. And there's times where the other team has done a good job. Short side wall and try to box the other team's defenseman out, and then you got to look for a better play.
Do you feel like Florida did a little bit last night of what you feel your team's been doing in that area in recent weeks? I mean, there were a couple games recently, Lindy, where it feels like teams are trying to get shots through, and you've got guys just laying in front of shots.
Yeah, I think we've done a great job with that. Got to give our guys a lot of credit. We've had a lot of guys in the interior. We haven't had a lot of pucks go through us where teams will get backside chances, and if there's rebounds sitting around the top of the crease, we've had a lot of bodies there and done a great job. And I think good teams do that. I think we're played a team that has won 2 Stanley Cups that understands the desperation around the paint, and I think they did a good job with it.
Lindy, do you find, like, without saying players maybe check out on that kind of thing, that as things have started to get better and better, like small little elements of buy-in start to show up, like whether it's chicken or the egg, like what happens first, the buy-in or the winning or the buy-in, that you're seeing it more in the last couple weeks?
Oh, for sure. I think when you're in that situation where we're right now in the thick of it with all the other teams, and that one win or one loss to move the needle either direction, it's the desperation to keep the puck out of your net, and then there's a desperation to forecheck and create the opportunities which allow you to win the hockey game. So there's two sides to that, and we have to be good on both of them.
Lindy Ruff with us on the Western Hotline. Ellis's game last night, Lindy, and really the goaltending overall in recent weeks. I mean, as your team's been winning, would you say really all 3 guys have given you really solid games, no matter what the rotation's been?
They really have. When in the fashion we've won without big saves or timely saves inside of the game. The Ellis game last night, I thought he gave us some real good saves. If you look at the first goal, went off of Reinhart. There's not a lot you can do about that. The second goal was a flash screen where I don't think he picks up that shot immediately, and then it's maybe a shot that he starts to see when it's about halfway to him. But overall, our goaltending has been real strong, and it's been a big reason why we've been able to have the success we've had.
Is also some of your success here. Usually, Lindy, when we open up, we're asking you about like 5 or 6 different injuries and like what's the story in this guy and that guy, and those numbers appear to be down right now. So like things are in a pretty good space from a health standpoint.
Yeah, they are. When you look at our forward group is getting healthy. The couple guys that we still have out, Danforth and Kulik. If you're looking on the forward front, on the back end, Kesselring and Timmins, both guys that were a big part. But I think when you look at the job that Bryson and Metza have done in that 5-6 role for us, they filled in, and that's the depth you need when you're going through injuries. And I think when you have depth, you don't really spend too much time talking about injuries. That's the sign of a good team and good depth.
We're also talking about, I'm going to knock on wood here, our first real extended look at Josh Norris on this team, and I wonder what you've thought of him now that he's had a chance to get consistent play under his belt.
Yeah, his play has been solid. When you look at the speed he brings, I think if you look at that early power, whether a first or second power play when we're breaking the puck out and we got it to him through the neutral zone, and he went by everybody, and I think Bobrovsky poke checked him on the way in. He's got incredible speed. I think he's done a real good job defensively for us. He's a good two-way player that he's helped our power play, a key face-off guy that we can trust. So a guy that hasn't played a lot of hockey that I think is going to just keep getting better for us.
What about Ostlund, Lindy? He's a healthy scratch last night, but how do you feel like his rookie season's been going? Really, he's played like kind of every role. I mean, he's been top of the lineup, wing, center, fourth line. So I don't know if the answer is different depending on what role he's been in, but how do you see him at this moment?
I really like this game. I've said this every time. Either he's been out, I think with Zucker coming back in, his role kind of changed. And I think you're going to see pieces with the schedule the way it is. You're going to see some pieces moved around. But there's a lot of confidence in the way he plays. And I'm not even looking at points. I think just playing the game the right way, his puck management has been real good. Whether he's at center or wing, he's defended well. I've liked him at center. I think with any young guy, you look at, can he play in key situations? And I've been able to play him, like you said, up the lineup against top lines. I've been able to play him at the wing. And again, probably part of the reason we don't spend a lot of time talking about injuries now is a guy like that has come up and filled in and has done a real good job for us.
In terms of areas to improve right now, Lindy, is top of your list right now the power play?
Yeah, the power play had a little bit of a rough go last night. I thought the game before, looked a lot better. We didn't handle their pressure really well. I thought, we threw some pucks away. Just had to show a little bit more composure. When you throw a puck away, you're losing 20 seconds. I think our puck management has been better on it. But it is an area that, if you look at last night, they score a power play goal. Maybe that's the difference in the game. If we would have got one, that game still could have been tied at the end of the game.
Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff joining us on the Western Hotline. Lindy, coming up later this week, it's the 05-06 reunion. Yeah,
who haven't you seen in a really long time that you're most excited to see back?
Well, there's a lot of guys I haven't seen in a long time, but I've seen the list, and I've heard, even Maxim Afinoganov is coming back from Russia. So, I think some of the guys that over here in North America, but some of the guys Europeans that you haven't seen in a long time would be great to see. A lot of great memories from that team, and it'll be great to have that group back in the building.
Does it surprise you? I don't know how much you look in the crowd and see jerseys, but that Afinogenov jersey is still very represented in the crowd. Does it surprise you at all that that generation of fans are still wearing his gear?
Well, I think I look back to that generation when the league went, they went hardcore about getting rid of, the hooking and holding and the obstruction of the game. And we were 3-line deep with Maxim Afinogenov and Derek Roy and Pominville and all these guys. We had great speed, we had great depth, and all of a sudden these guys could operate without, a guy putting a stick on them. Max was a dynamic player. I mean, some of the I still like the highlight goal that I think he scored in Tampa where he spun around in 360 and came through everything is one of the goals that sticks out in my mind. But, I think our ability to score in 05-06 was a big result of having a lot of speed in the game and a skill right from the top line all the way down.
Lindy Ruff on the Western Hotline. 05-06 night is going to be Thursday. Philadelphia before that. Montreal on Thursday. And a big stretch this month. Like Montreal a few times. Haven't seen them too many times this year. These games are coming up. So best of luck, Lindy, going forward with the close out the month up to the Olympic break. Some big games.
Yeah, some real big games. It's going to be a tough month when it comes to the amount of games we play. But we got the teams we need to play, and it should be a great month.
All right. We'll talk to you next week, we think. Just, we don't want to be the jinxes, but we'll plan on next week.
Okay, thanks, gentlemen, and go Bills.
Yeah, go Bills.
Thanks, Lindy.
Lindy Ruff on the Western Hotline. Bills will play 4:30 on Saturday against the Broncos. Just looking up something on them. On the Sabres last night, like Florida. There's Florida. I actually I had my son sit down and watch some of the game. Before I did it, speaking of reunions, we're playing mini sticks like knee hockey. You do that when you're as your kid all the time. And I had the thought, I thought about you during this moment. We're playing mini sticks. He's almost 5, so he's just learning how to do all of it, keep score. He's at the stage where I gotta teach him that it's okay for him to be down 2-1. He's like, that one didn't count. I'm like, that counts. It's 2-1. You're down.
He's throwing the offside challenge.
He's just disputing whether or not it went over the line. So I had to tape down a goal.
Interference.
I taped down a goal line. I'm like, if it goes across this line into the mini stick net, that's a goal.
Yeah.
And then I called Gene Steratore to see if he could come do some reviews.
Did you set up a couple cameras?
Yeah. No, what I did do, as I said, I had the thought, I'm like, do you want to learn who Dominik Hasek is?
Oh, it's a great question.
Wow.
It's a great thing. There's a great thing to show.
Let me show you some highlights of
Holy
Dominik.
cow.
This is the best goalie that ever lived, and he used to play for the Buffalo Sabres. Do you want to see some highlights? And sure enough, I'm waiting for mini sticks today to see if he's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna be.
You're playing a dangerous game, dude.
Kicking his legs up in the air like wheel saves.
Right. You can just see he's just like, okay, so that's how you do it, huh?
Yeah. Make sure you turn on those Tim Connolly highlights tonight because you got to get him out of the net. You don't want that.
I mean, was every kid that played street hockey when you had to play goalie not playing that way?
Double pads.
Of course.
I did that. With the Milek street hockey pads that you could slide 1,000 feet on. Yeah.
I did put one note down to ask you this, Owen, about the game last night. As a goalie, our senior goaltending correspondent, Ellis wears one of those shields that hangs.
Yeah,
like a rooster's
dangler
neck.
is what we call it.
Okay, a dangler,
dangler.
A rooster's neck.
Yeah.
I feel like I would hate that.
I didn't wear one for a long time and then got a puck right in the neck, and it was bad, scary, throat swollen up, not fun. And I really hated the neck guards, the ones that would be right up on your neck, which go underneath the stuff, because they would make me super hot. I would get so hot because it was this real thick plastic thing that went all the way up to your chin. So I had to try the dangler, the plastic dangler, and it was super, super annoying for 2 weeks because every time you move your head, it would crash around and make a bunch of noises, and it would kind of impede your ability to look. But after that, it's awesome because anytime you were never getting hit.
Do you now think that guys that don't wear it are nuts?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
How many guys don't wear it? It's still a ton, right?
There's a lot of guys that don't wear the dangler. A lot of guys wear the neck guard. But I was kind of weird for not liking the neck guard.
Yeah.
There are some guys that wear nothing. Like Connor Hellebuck. You look at Hellebuck,
he wears
and it's
nothing.
just there's this much room on him that's
yeah.
Oh, dude, you get hit there and it's over.
That's nuts.
But Hellebuck, because he plays so hunched up, when he's stopping a puck, his shoulders kind of come up.
Yeah.
So he almost turtle shells, so he's fine.
Didn't Miller used to wear nothing?
I think Miller used to wear nothing
Or
too.
did he wear a neck guard?
He might have also worn the dangler at times.
I'm looking at pictures, and maybe he had looked something under his jersey. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm looking at him in St. Louis and some old
All right.
Buffalo stuff, and he was wearing one. He used to wear never with the Sabres, but he used to wear. It was one of the only guys in the league I ever saw do it. Like a pad on the outside of his glove in the palm, because you would get hit. You get hit in the palm with a puck, even with the big glove. Like your hand goes numb. You break a hand. Like I broke my hand 2 or 3 times playing just from shots. And he used to wear like a black extra pad on the glove, which was always interesting.
Have any comment on Ellis last night? Any thoughts?
Yeah,
I felt for him on the third goal. You can see he's like laying on the ice and his head goes down.
Yeah, like that's tough because he knows he should have had that. Like you got to get on that puck, and that was a problem for him all night. And that's
he is chaotic. He's chaotic in the net.
I am in a weird spot with him right now where I'm trying to decide whether I think he's not ready yet or whether he just plays the game differently than most guys do. There are guys, Hellebuck I mentioned earlier, that look really different playing the position. There's sort of an archetype of goaltender that is sort of the middle 80% of them that look very similar, approach the game relatively the same. They skate pretty similar. They play at a similar depth. All this stuff looks very similar. And Ellis is definitely not that. And there are guys that are outside of that are really good and that overcome that and are special because of that. And he could be that because his results are not bad, but there are some process things that I definitely do not like with him. The tip goal, the Reinhart goal, I'm glad you asked me this because the Reinhart goal was interesting. Even Lindy mentioned like nothing he could really do there. He did not do a great job of deciding how he wanted to make that save. He, if you watch the play, doesn't shift his center line into where Reinhart tips the puck. As a goaltender, when you're playing a tip, if you know, like, all right, this guy's getting something on this puck.
And it's like, would he know in the moment, like, that's Reinhart, that's what he does.
You're right. He's going to get a stick on this. And what you do is you drop your center line into that lane where the tip comes from as if it's a new shot. It's like a new play. You're shifting into so that you can cover as much space as you can. And what Ellis does is he drops straight where he is, and his hand comes back and up to stop the puck, which opens up the hole that it beats him through. If Ellis just stays on top of that and literally drops 6 inches to his right into the tip, that puck hits him right in the gut, and it's a whistle, and it's nothing.
Yeah.
There was no other threatening option that he had to worry about. There was no other play other than that puck's going to get through clean or Reinhart's going to tip it. And either way, you give yourself a better chance shifting into where that puck was going. And so, to me, I would have liked to see a better processing decision, sort of save selection move there from him.
Fair.
That might have been too technical for everybody out there.
No,
but it was.
This is why we ask you, like, I watch a goalie do something like, feels like he probably, I don't know, should have got it, shouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
How do you read? Because somebody, who was it that flailed trying to block the shot? The guy that made the play from the point made a really nice play to like kind of wait that out and get the puck through.
Right.
Because it live, I thought like, oh, nice block, but it got through.
For sure.
Mason in Dallas has been waiting patiently. We'll squeeze him in before the break. Mason, good morning.
Hey, gentlemen. Appreciate all you guys do. One quick point on the Sabres game last night. I'm not sure if anybody else noticed it, but when in Dunn's fight, it seemed like he sort of held up at the end where you see a lot of guys sort of go in for one last punch. So I just really appreciated seeing that. These guys are starting to look like more and more of a playoff team. Just hope the goaltending can hold up long term. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mason.
Guys.
That's exactly how I feel. I think they look like a playoff team. If they get the saves, they'll be there. You know? They also might want to decide who they're going to ride. If everybody's healthy, do they ride somebody?
I'm at a point of believing that won't happen all year.
Okay.
They'll just play who's hot. Like, does someone take over the net for the remaining of the season? I don't even know if I like right now I would bet they end the season with all 3 goaltenders. That all 3 are at least on the roster. Maybe they're not all in the rotation. Like I could see Ellis going, another month without playing a game. But right now, all of them have given you decent stretches. Not all of them have been great the whole time. Lyon had a tough stretch in there. UPL did. Even Ellis had a couple bad games. But I mean, this is just kind of, I don't think any of the three are capable of doing this for, I guess, 50 games. Or at this point, even 30 games in a row. So with that being said, I think that's where the rotation comes in. Is Lyon can get hot, but he's not doing it for that amount of time. UPL can get hot, but he's not doing it for the whole season. And Ellis, we don't know. So with that, I think if they just chose one guy and ran with it, I think I'd be surprised.